Hey, what's going on? It's AJ Mirzad. First of all, I want to thank you so much for joining us today for this special Facebook integrated presentation. Before we get started, do me a favor and click on the like button on the top right hand corner of your screen to help us spread the word about this great content. In fact, you can invite some of your friends to join us. Simply click on the invite friends button on the top left hand corner. Don't worry, it won't interrupt the audio or video. During the demonstration, if you have any questions, just type them in the interactive chat box in the lower right-hand corner. And finally, in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see the live attendance box with the names and faces of everyone that's here right now watching the presentation with us, including any of your friends that you have invited to join us. As we walk through the demo, you will see that live attendance list grow, and as others join in, attend the presentation with us. And finally, I want to give you a special gift just for attending and helping us spread the word. If you scroll down below the attendance box, you will see a link to a free gift. As an incentive to help us spread the word, we are giving away a free special report for anyone who invites just 3 friends who show up and watch with us. Again, just use the invite button on the top left-hand corner above the video to invite your friends, and once 3 of them show up, your free gift download will instantly go live. Thanks in advance for helping us spread the word, and now let's get started. All right. Advanced nutrition principles. Let's talk about nutrition. After you have the basics of good nutrition down, how to calculate your total calorie needs, assessing your protein, carb, and dietary fat requirements, and learning the proper places to get all of these foods, it's time to move on to learn some advanced nutrition principles. Advanced nutrition principles would dig deeper into how to properly set up your diet for maximum success and go over key techniques that you can use to make sure you see the most rapid rate of fat loss possible. Many people will make the mistake of simply selecting a diet to follow and then stop making a concentrated effort to learn anything further about proper nutrition protocols. Learning about diet should be an ongoing process because the more knowledge and information you have, the easier it'll be to see success. Always educate yourself. In this presentation, we're going to cover the main areas that you must know to get started off on the right foot. By now, you should have a good idea of what foods you should be eating throughout the day, possibly have spent some time utilizing a new diet in real life. Today, we're going to cover a various amount of topics. 1. The proper meal frequency that will bring you the most success. 2. What clean eating means and whether that's required for you to see results. 3. Why staying maximally hydrated is important and how to tell if you're getting enough fluids. 4. Why planning is the biggest key to dietary success and steps you can take to make this easier. 5. Crash diets and whether these are safe at any point in time. 6. What insulin sensitivity refers to and how it impacts dietary choices that you make. 6. Everyone's favorite topic, cheat meals. Now let's get right to it and begin with our discussion on meal frequency. There's a great deal of work and talk about meal frequency in today's dietary literature. Most often, you'll hear people stating that you should eat 6 mini meals throughout the day in order to control your weight. The reasons they claim why you do so are because it'll help stabilize your blood sugar levels, it'll prevent hunger, it'll reduce the anxiety associated with going long periods of time without food, it'll increase satiety, it'll speed up your metabolic rate. Are these facts the truth? Well, let's look at each one individually. Stabilizing your blood sugar level. This statement has some truth to it. If you're eating a mixed diet of carbohydrates and if they're kept at a reasonable level, you're going to have some blood sugar fluctuations over time as insulin begins removing sugar from your blood. Now, how drastic these fluctuations are will depend entirely on the source of carbohydrates you eat and their form. Simple carbohydrates will create rapid blood sugar spikes in lows, while complex carbs, aka low glycemic carbohydrates, will do the complete opposite. The more complex carbs you're eating, the less frequent your meals will have to be in control of this. So the key thing is to have complex carbs that are low in the glycemic index. If you're not familiar with that, I can always send you some information. Basically, the lower the glycemic carb is, the slower it digests. So it'll last longer in your bloodstream and fuel your body over a slow period. Fast absorbing high glycemic carbs are similar to sugar and let's say fructose. Sugars that have a rapid onset, but at the same time give you a boost of energy, but they make you crash soon after. So, preventing hunger levels. Some people find that eating more frequently helps reduce their hunger. One factor that is highly correlated with how much hunger you feel on a daily basis is how much food is currently in the stomach. The more often you eat, the more often you're putting more food in the stomach. Other people may find the opposite. They may feel that eating is so frequently that only stimulates their hunger and makes them want to eat all day long. So that kind of basically makes a difference. Some people love eating frequently throughout the day, 5-6 meals. Other people eat 2 to 3 times. It all really depends on the level of your appetite and hunger throughout the day. So make a note that there's a big difference between hunger and satiety. Hunger is a physiological response to the body needing more fuel. Satiety is the psychological drive to eat. It's possible not to feel hungry but still feel unsatisfied and have the desire to eat. Meal frequency can impact this. In terms of hunger and satiety control, it's best to experiment for yourself and figure out what works most ideal for you. Do you feel better eating larger meals less frequently? Some people find that mini meals are incredibly unsatisfying since they're taking in such little food and doing better eating fewer but larger meals throughout the day. Others find the opposite true. Reducing anxiety associated with going long periods of time without food. Some people will find that if they know they have to last 5 hours before eating again, this causes feelings of anxiety. If this is the case for you, you may find it more difficult to stick with your diet because of this. Others, however, may find the opposite. For them, having to eat 6 meals per day for only causes stress because they have to find time in their busy schedules to eat. If this is you, then a lower frequency of meals may be a smarter move. So it all depends on your lifestyle and, of course, your work habits. If you have a lifestyle that allows you to eat more frequently and you do enjoy it, by all means, prepare and pack small meals throughout the day. However, if you're on the go and you can only eat 2 to 3 times a day, obviously make sure you're just packing in more calories in each meal. It really just depends on your personal needs, in my personal opinion. So your metabolic rate increases. Basically, the last reason why some people will begin increasing their meal frequency is because they believe that it'll help boost their metabolic rate. It is not true. It's a big myth. People think if you eat 7-8 times a day, you'll have a faster metabolism. Studies have shown it's really your over daily caloric intake. So each and every time you eat a meal, your metabolism is going to increase. This is due to the fact that your body will expend energy just breaking down the foods that you're eating. The rate of calorie increase is going to come down primarily to the type of food you consume and the total number of calories throughout the day. Protein-rich foods cause a great metabolic spike. 25% of the calories are burned off, while carbs cause lower spikes, 5 to 2% respectively. The more calories you eat, the greater spike you'll get. For example, if you had a strictly protein-based meal, if you consumed 400 calories, you would burn off 100 calories just by digesting that food. Yummy. If you consume 200 calories, though, then you would burn just 50 calories digesting that food. At the end of the day, all things being equal, total calories and macronutrients, the total calorie burn would be the same. The only difference is that with lower meal frequency, you'd get fewer but larger metabolic spikes. With a higher meal frequency, you get more but smaller metabolic spikes. So basically, being said, it doesn't matter, once again, how many times a day you eat. Each time you eat, the higher calories you take in, you're going to have a higher metabolic spike. So if you noticed, protein has a 25% spike, so you want to focus on taking in more protein throughout the day, thus boosting your metabolism. So it's not about eating frequently throughout the day, it's really just taking in the most protein. So don't be so quick to assume that eating more frequently automatically means you'll increase your metabolic rate. The bottom line is, when it comes to meal frequency, you need to work the best for you. So figure out what works best for you due to your lifestyle, due to your habits, just basically what you prefer. That's going to be more successful. We're talking about long-term solutions, not a short-term quick diet fix. So if you're eating 4 times a day and it makes it easier to stick to your diet and easy to control your hunger, so be it. 3 to 4 times a day is perfect. I actually eat 3 times a day myself, and it works best for me. So if you eat 6 times a day and you actually like that, then go for it. The most important thing is you're taking in the right amount of calories and macronutrients. Do keep in mind that there may be a higher chance that you'll overeat with a higher meal frequency, because even if you just take in 50 extra calories each meal, because the calories are so small, that would mean an extra 300 calories consumed over the course of the day. So, sometimes a person will snack on that extra piece of food. It'll be 25 to 30 calories, but 50 calories spread across 6 meals is 300 calories a day. So keep in mind, a pound of fat is 3,500 excess calories. So if you're taking in 300 calories a day, that'll add up very quickly to a pound of fat. So an extra 300 calories could really completely wipe out the fat loss progress that you're making. So some people will tell me, oh, I'm not eating extra food, I'm just snacking here and there. But, those extra calories are going to halt your fat loss. So make a very wide choice about meal frequency, and don't be so strict with yourself following specific rules. Make your own rules, and then you'll see faster success. Now let's talk about the next topic, clean eating. Clean eating and what it means. You may have heard the term clean eating before and wondered what it exactly meant. Surely it means more than just making sure your food is thoroughly washed before eating it, and it does much more. For example, an apple would be considered clean. A chicken breast would also be considered clean. Broccoli, clean as well. A granola bar, not so clean. The food that you're considering eating has an ingredient listing of more than 2 or 3 ingredients long. It's pretty safe bet that it isn't clean. The idea behind clean eating is that by reducing all the additives in your diet, you'll feel more energized and get back to eating the way that your Mother Nature intended. So really look at your ingredients list. Obviously, if it's more than 3, 4 to 5 ingredients, it's not good. It's highly processed, filled with chemicals. So make sure the first 2 ingredients are natural. The best way to pick about whole wheat bread is to make sure the first ingredient says whole wheat bread. Now, if it says enriched flour or some crazy chemical combination, it's not whole wheat bread. So just look at your ingredients list. The first 2 or 3 items will tell you the exact high density of type of food it is. We live in a world where food companies are constantly coming out with manufactured foods that are fat-free, low-carb, all natural, and so on. These foods really aren't going to be doing your diet any favors. But yet they suck you into their fancy claims and make you think that they're going to help you see faster rates of success. You must note that clean eating as much as you want is where people go terribly wrong. People think that I'm eating clean, so they'll take in lots of broccoli, chicken, and brown rice, but in reality they're taking in hundreds of extra calories, thus slowing down their fat loss goals. So make sure you're watching your overall calories, not just eating clean. Calories are calories, and if they have to go somewhere. So eating too many of them, you're going to be gaining weight. It doesn't matter if those calories come from chicken breasts or oranges, you'll still gain weight. So eat clean because it promotes better health and will generally help keep your appetite under control. But make sure you watch your overall calories. Do not eat clean because you'll feel allowed to eat as much as you'd like. Don't worry about gaining extra body fat. That's simply not the case. Always track your calories. So don't just throw in a bunch of clean foods, let's say in your work bag and think I'm going to eat these all day and lose weight. It's about the overall calories. Make sure you're keeping track of how much you're taking in. So let's talk about the importance of hydration. Now, hydrating yourself for success. In order to keep the most optimal results, hydration is going to be critical. Why is staying maximally hydrated so important? The primary reasons are it'll help you reduce your hunger, it'll help to maximize your metabolic rate, it'll keep you energized, it enhances your focus, concentration, and of course it'll reduce your chances of snacking due to mistaking thirst for hunger. So they say that many times when you're feeling a craving or hunger, it's really not true hunger in its form, it's really just thirst. So if you feel a strong craving come along, try to drink down 8 ounces of water. Wait about 5 minutes. If you're still hungry, then it's time to eat. If not, it was just the body's craving for thirst, dehydration. So if you're very active, staying adequately hydrated is also essential in order to make sure that you're recovering quickly from each session that you do. The key thing to watch out with hydration is that you select calorie-free or nutrient-dense beverages. Bad choices include sugar-laden soda, fruit juice, high-calorie gourmet beverages, sweetened fruit drinks, slushies, frozen drinks, and of course, the evil alcoholic beverages. Good choices: pure water, green tea, herbal tea, decaf coffee without cream or sugar, milk, protein shakes compared with water or skim milk, or even almond breeze milk. It's like extremely low calorie, about 30 calories per 8 ounces. Sparkling water, make sure it's calorie free, and also look for the sweeteners in there, because sometimes it'll say sparkling water but it'll have a ton of sugar and other chemicals. So the above choices will help hydrate you and won't put a dent in your fat loss diet, while bad choices listed above will all provide calories either too much sugar or alcohol, which puts the brakes on the fat loss process taking place in the body. Many people question alcohol in a diet. Well, you can have the odd drink now and then in moderation without the negative impacts. If you're drinking more than this, it'll upset your progress. Milk and protein shakes both contain calories, but also provide important protein as long as your body needs. So you consume to account for those calories. Just make sure though, because milk is very high in sugar. It has lactose in it, so a glass of milk can have anywhere from 12 to 13 grams of sugar. So make sure you're watching your overall sugar intake. Skim milk is obviously better. It's much lower in calories, so you can't really avoid the sugar within it, but you'll reduce the fat, thus decreasing your overall calorie intake. So the general guidelines: consume 8 glasses of fluid per day. The best way to figure out how much water you're taking in is the good old urine test. So test your pee. Basically, if your pee is clear, it's a sign that you're fully hydrated. If not, you're going to be dehydrated. So if your pee is yellow, it means that you're not drinking enough water. So keep in mind that if it's yellow, you got to catch up with your water intake. Keep on drinking it. Go ahead and test yourself in the bathroom. Make sure it's clear and ready to go. So don't be like that guy. On days that you're most active, you'll want to also be drinking more fluids to replace what you lose during that physical activity. So let's talk about dietary planning. Let's talk about a strategy for you. So planning is a key to success. The one thing that's going to determine whether you succeed or fail in your diet is planning. Those who take the time to plan out their meals are not leaving success to chance, like those who don't. If you don't have a plan to follow, it will be virtually impossible to ensure that you're taking in the right amount of calories throughout the day. Planning your diet eliminates the question of what to eat. You know what you should eat, so all you have to do is follow it and you'll succeed. To make this easier, every Sunday set aside an hour to plan out your weekly meals. Do your grocery shopping ahead of time so that you have everything ready that you need to prepare them. Cook as much of the food in advance as possible when you're busy, when the weekends are underway, so most of your work is done for you. So what I do is I bulk prepare my meals on a Sunday night. I'll grill, let's say 10 pounds of chicken. So I will prepare and pack 5 pounds of it in little containers, put it in my refrigerator, and then 5 pounds I'll freeze. That way I have go-to ready foods throughout the week. I'll do that with various food types. I'll just make them all in bulk. I'm not a big fan of washing dishes either. So I'll prepare, pack, do it all in one shot, and be set for success. So anything in life, the more automated you make your diet, the greater chances you will succeed. So the less buffer time you have to get something done, it's automated, go-to, it'll be a part of your habits in your life. So make sure you have standby meals for if you're busy. Sometimes I'll even label the foods that I have to make sure I know what's inside them. But at this point in time, I've been preparing and packing meals for so long, I could eye something and have the nutritional value of it. So I provided 2 photos of sample meals. You have the basics. You have fish or chicken, good protein source, whole wheat pasta, rice, good low glycemic carbs, and of course green veggies. Don't mind my gold-plated plates over there. But, really have those 3 power foods. You have some good healthy fats in there as well. So having these go-to meals to fall back on should make sure the plan's always working out for you. And also reduce the stress, because the biggest stress you'll have is going to work or just coming home hungry after work. What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Now, you're going to really obviously go for the quick, easy, craving food. But if you have your meal planned ahead of time, it's going to be set for success. So it's really going to follow it, and it's going to help your hectic lifestyle as well. So get into the habit of meal planning now, and you'll guarantee your success down the road. So let's talk about crash diets. Basically trying to lose a ton of weight in a short amount of time. In short, do not do them. Crash diets are extremely detrimental for a number of reasons. They'll reduce your metabolic rate dramatically. They'll cause you to lose lean muscle tissue, not fat mass. They'll leave you hungry and more likely to binge. They'll cause a negative association in your diet about dieting in general. They'll leave you energyless so you can't work out. They'll cause yo-yo weight loss and weight regains. All in all, these diets are simply not effective strategies for reaching your goal weight. Most often, they're low in nutrients and your body needs good health, so they really can set you up for some serious problems down the road. If you're going to attempt rapid weight loss, the best way to do it is to focus on a high protein intake. It'll help preserve your lean muscle mass and metabolism, along with plenty of fresh vegetables. So Crash diets are good if you can do it for the long term. You know, my 3-day super fat loss juice fast works very effectively. It's highly nutritious. There's good proteins in there. You're going to lose a ton of weight, anywhere from like 5 to 9 pounds, because you're going to lose a lot of water weight, and at the same time, just taking in healthy fruit juices, you're going to just use your fat for fuel. But it's something to do for a short-term period, let's say 3 to 5 days. Soon after that, so-called crash diet, will go into a good, healthy, low-calorie diet. The worst thing you do is do, like, let's say, a zero-carb, hardcore crash diet, and then go back to your normal eating plans. The food the fat will come right back onto your body. So, doing a crash diet for 1 to 2 weeks is like the most amount of time. So that's a good period of time to lose fat and then go back to a normal eating habit. That'll keep you nice and successful. So never stay on a diet longer than 2 weeks, a crash diet, I mean. It'll definitely set up severe long-term problems for yourself. So you'll find hundreds of different crash diets on the market, all types of different juice fasts and low-carb methods and low-calorie methods. So figure out which one that's obviously easy for you to follow and that works out to your lifestyle. But fight the urge of using them frequently. I would not go more than 2 weeks on a crash diet, and of course, like I said, go into a normal diet. I personally love my juice fast because it's really easy to plan, and I live a very busy lifestyle, so many times I can't sit down, prepare, and pack my meals. So I will do a quick juice fast, burn a ton of fat, and pretty much start back to a nice normal eating plan. I kind of use it to lose a quick 5 to 8 pounds before a big event, or if I've been slacking off on my eating. By all means, if you want to have access to my juice fast diet, just send me an email and I'll happily send it to you for free. So they're not going to help you achieve success. It's just temporary weight loss. Like I said, if you have a wedding or if you're going on a vacation, you want to kind of just take out the water and flatten out your stomach a little bit. But once you come back and you go on to like a normal, seafood, like eating everything in sight diet, you're going to gain all the fat right back. So let's talk about some more complex advanced nutrition strategies, and this is insulin sensitivity. What insulin sensitivity is and how it impacts your diet choices. Insulin sensitivity is a very real issue impacting many, and you should be altering your diet accordingly. It's affecting you very dramatically. Insulin sensitivity refers to how well your body reacts to eating carbohydrates. There's a good test to determine insulin sensitivity. Ask yourself these following questions. When you eat a high-carb, low-fat meal such as pasta with tomato sauce, A, do you feel energized and great? B, tired and sluggish? In general, high-carb foods make you A, defined and leaner looking, B, bloated and puffy. After a meal containing complex carbohydrates such as oats, pasta, rice, do you find that you are A, hungrier than normal, that you could keep on eating, or B, full and satisfied for at least a few hours after the meal is over? If you answered B to any of these questions, you have poor insulin sensitivity. This means that you'll be very likely on a lower carb diet. This should be where you should be focusing your diet. So if you said A, you have awesome insulin sensitivity and you can eat a ton of carbs without gaining fat and you'll feel great all day long. B, stick to lower carb choices, higher protein. So select lean proteins, plenty of healthy fats for energy. Have some fresh fruits, vegetables, and a few fibrous carbs, and more importantly, nutrients and fiber. All fruits are fair game, but try to avoid grapes, bananas, and pineapples. They're high in sugar and obviously not so high in fiber. So if you answered A, you have good insulin sensitivity, so it's fine to eat higher carbs and lower fat. This does not mean you should go fat-free with your diet. Some fat is required for optimal health, so you could include more carbs than those answering B. B is low carb, A is high carb. So insulin sensitivity has a lot to do with genetic factors, but also can be impacted by previous lifestyle choices revolving around your diet and exercise. Exercise does not enhance insulin sensitivity. So the more active you are, the better you find your body is able to absorb and tolerate higher carbs. So let's finish up with my favorite topic, good old cheat meals. Cheat meals can be a part of the healthy diet plan as long as they're controlled and set up properly. The key factors that will ensure you'll see success with cheat meals include keeping the meal frequency to about once per week or two, aiming to keep cheat foods as low as fat as possible, having the cheat meals later in the day so that you don't start moving into a full cheat throughout the day rather than one meal that'll really overdo it. This means basically don't start cheating for breakfast. If you're going to have like a cheat meal, don't have it first thing in the day. Many times if you do, it's kind of like, you're giving a hungry dog a snack. The whole day it's going to want that snack because you're giving it that taste of yummy shifu. You're the same. So start off eating healthy, and the last meal, let's say you're at a birthday party at somebody's house for dinner, have that cheat meal right before you go to bed. So one thing that's going to help you is working out the day before or the day of the cheat meal. It's going to actually help promote more of the food to be utilized as fuel rather than be stored as fat. So cheat meals will be most effective after a high rep weightlifting session, and when they are high in carbs, it'll help the extra calories move into the muscle cells and restore muscle glycogen. So to explain what glycogen is, imagine you're eating carbohydrates, and once you eat carbs, the body digests them and turns them into glucose. So glucose is carbs that are used as a body for energy. So your body first starts storing glucose or carbohydrates in your liver. Once the liver stores are full, it puts it into your muscles. So the carbs in your muscles are referred to glycogen. So many times if you're depleting your glycogen levels from a high intense workout, when you eat high carbs from a cheat meal, it's going to replenish your glycogen. But if you take in too much carbs, the glycogen stores in your muscles get full and the carbs get used for fat. So you want to be in a good equal balance of muscle glycogen and carbohydrate intake. So higher carb foods have higher metabolic boosting properties than lower carb foods. So by eating high carbs in a cheat meal, you'll see greater fat loss benefits. One way to tell this is if you're eating a lot of carbs in a cheat meal, you'll start getting warm. You might even start sweating. That means your metabolism is getting fired up from the high carbs. So when you're cheating, opt for higher carb and lower fat. So the wrong way to cheat is to eat whatever you like and whatever you feel like. Obviously you're cheating, you want to have some freedom, but don't allow it to turn into a 2 to 3 day long binge. And obviously if you binge for 2 to 3 days, you'll gain 5 to 10 pounds and you'll lose quickly away from your overall nutritional success. So keep it controlled and it'll help improve your metabolism. Satisfy your psychological desire for your favorite foods and keep your energy for high workout sessions. So cheating is great, not just for the physical aspects, but also for the mental aspects as well. Indulging, loosening up. And there's plenty of high carb cheat meals that you can enjoy and at the same time you'll have freedom with. So, don't go crazy, like I said, running wild, cheating from the morning to the night. Have one major meal, eat whatever your heart desires, get it done, and allow it to just boost your thyroid and, of course, boost your physical energy as well. So, this concludes our discussion on advanced nutritional strategies. Keep in mind, as you go about your diet, you can feel confident doing everything possible to maximize your success. I want to thank you so much for taking a time out to listen to my nutritional seminar. And I just want you to know, I've been where you were. I was overweight most of my life, and I've just taken a hardcore study to everything nutrition, exercise, psychology, and of course, overall fitness. So by all means, if there's anything I can help you with, or if you have any questions regarding this nutritional seminar, please send me an email, aj@lifefuelfit.com, or feel free to visit my website, www.lifefuelfit.com. I want to thank you so much, and I hope that I motivated you and taught you something new. And I really look forward to hearing from you. So enjoy the rest of your time. Bye.